one in this town has been exactly where you are right now. There are things you need to know about where you are. This is gonna be the worst night of your life. Do you believe in monsters?
What is up? What is going on? Welcome back. We are here with another episode of From. Got my homie Brian in the house. What's up, homie?
Man, I'm feeling so good. I forgot how I'm watching the show, and I'm like, man, I forgot how good this stuff was. Like how it was like intense. The little things you notice, and like, man, they did a great job in that first season with the details. They really, really did.
100%. And I'm right there with you, man. There's a lot of good shows going on right now, but just rewatching these series or these episodes, I'm like, man, this show is really good, bro. It's really fire. For those of you that ain't watching, you need to get up and watch this show because it is lit. Danny, even though I know you probably ain't here. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Sorry, coughing all the time. Like I'm smoking with Nzo, but I'm 1/3 of Sport Kings. We go live on Mondays and Thursdays, talking about all the TV shows and any trailers or reactions or anything like that. And then on Saturday we've been doing Severance. I cannot wait for this week's Severance. It's been blowing my mind. Besides From, is my favorite show. So yeah, I can't wait. And I'm actually going to release a book review on the books from Silo. Plan on doing that Friday. So I read all 3 of the books, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a hint on what might happen next season, and we'll go from there.
Nice. Not only that, you're gonna explain the differences from the book to the show.
Oh, and there's a lot.
That's good. That's good. Definitely make sure you check that out. Especially you guys that love Silo. Make sure you check that out. Absolutely, 100%. And you know who I am. I am Big Afford Entertainment. And again, I appreciate everybody that came in. But we are here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to talk about From episode 8. And we've been breaking down every episode from season 1, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty at this point. Brian, what did you find out?
So, I mean, the big thing we overarching and is Abby, right? I mean, that is the hugest part because they never went to detail about Abby's dream. She says, this reminds me of a dream, right? They never go into detail about it. And the only other person we hear is, is Tabitha's dream, right? When she was a young girl. So Abby said, I remember when I was a young girl dreaming about like a dream. And that's what engaged her into shooting everybody, right? So that was huge. And it's such a plot hole that it's going to have something to do with, the future of what's going on. But so obvious. We see it right there. But when you hide it right in plain sight, people forget.
100%. And that's why when I was doing this episode, you see, I put that little circle and I'm like, what is her role? Because to be honest with you, I've always thought about her saying, oh, she, it just reminded her of a dream, which means she probably had a dream about something with Fromville, right?
Or it's maybe like Tabitha. When Tabitha had a dream when she was a little girl about those rocks, right? So is she someone who has to be there all the time, that has been there multiple times? And there's another role that we don't realize that has to be played out. And that was played out by her.
100%. I agree with you. Because, like you said, she had those dreams. Tabitha had the dreams. Now, we already find out that Tabitha was obviously a reincarnated from Prime Miranda or whatever. But we don't know what Abby's role was, right? Because
exactly.
Abby had the dreams, but she couldn't be a reincarnation because Tabitha was probably alive around that time, right? So she definitely kind of agrees with our theory that some people that are there may not be reincarnations, but they're meant to be there for some reason.
And that makes me think that Boyd is something that they didn't see coming.
Agreed.
You know, even though he found the talisman, I mean, you saw him getting stuck in the woods. I know we are kind of jumping around a little bit, but see him get stuck in the woods and lost and following a dog, which we'll come back to the dog. We'll get back to that. You know, it's just whatever. But him just finding those things and being the leader that he is really probably shocked from. And since that's the first iteration of someone like that here, I think they're intrigued by him.
Absolutely, 100%. Because when he gets there, he's like, "Oh, so you guys, do the creatures come out during the day?" And they're like, "We don't think so." So he's like, "So let's go search the forest, see what we can find," And it surprises me.
Goats and chickens and all this other stuff. Like, man, what the hell y'all been doing?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so nobody decided to search the forest. I think they probably did, but just didn't go out far enough. You know what I mean? And Boyd decided he's gonna like really go, and because he's a Marine, so he'll be able to find certain things. Found
So
goats
he's
and
in the army, and he's been in different areas. He's put up bases all around the world. So he knows what he's doing. And I think that's what separates him from everybody else. He could be in a terrible situation and be able to keep his level head and know how to organize people, how to keep rationing people, how to get people back to normalcy. He is just good at that. And that's what changed everything. No one saw him coming. And I think that Fromville in itself doesn't realize how lucky the people there don't realize how lucky they are to have him. And I don't think From saw him coming because he's able to save so many people, even though a lot of people die on his watch.
Absolutely. And I want to bring that up to this part to go with what you're saying exactly. Because when they started to mutiny, you know what I mean? Trying to get the food. He came in there and he was like, "Listen, what do you guys want to do? Erase everything that we have done? Shit that we've been doing is working, right? You guys just got to be patient and we'll get through this, So you're absolutely right. It shows that he was a leader, and this town maybe never had a leader like Boyd before, right? Because
and he's a leader that affects everyone else.
Right. Absolutely. Kenny fixed Kenny because Kenny shows some balls in this episode. I forgot about that part. You know what I mean?
Like, no, you're going to go. You said you need to go. You need to get the hell out. I was like, all right, I see you, Kenny.
The only thing though that I had was it was a real flip up because at the beginning he's like, "Where are you going? No, you can't leave," and blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden it's like, "No, you got to get out of here." But I also think that was showing, maybe foreshadowing, that Kenny might be one of the leaders when the group separate. You know what I mean? Because we already know he don't trust Boyd at this point that much.
We also know that Christy was definitely feeling Kenny before all this Marielle and all this stuff came out. She was definitely feeling Kenny. We always knew that, but I think that could have been special. And I think that's the last time Chrissy's been happy. And that's going to come up this next season. She's going to say the last time I was happy is when I was with Kenny. And by the time she does that, it might be too late.
Facts. Because I think, to your point, something might happen to Marielle. You know what I mean? Which could possibly. What's up, Nikisha? How you doing?
Nikisha.
Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated.
Hey, Nikisha, real quick. Nice job on your little live. I saw that with your video you put out there. I checked it out. Not bad at all.
Absolutely. So did I too. I checked it out too, and I'm gonna leave the link for her channel in the comments there so you guys can check it out too. I haven't seen the General Hospital one, but I was like,
me too.
I'm like, no, I can't do this one. All right, good job on the video, but we all know that General Hospital is one of the crappiest soap operas out there. You know what I mean? It's days of our lives all day, every day. Hey, Carla, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. Always a pleasure. Absolutely. So back to what you were saying. I appreciate that. I'm just having fun. That's all we need to do.
That's all we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait till you start doing lives. You know what I mean? And doing that. So
that's a different animal.
100%. So like you were saying about Kenny though, Kenny has been, and I think it's foreshadowing. It's been foreshadowing that Kenny's going to be some type of leader. You know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
started off pretty weak in this season, and he's getting stronger and stronger each time we watch an episode, and he's being more vocal about certain things. So I absolutely think that him and Acosta are probably going to
Mm-hmm.
team up against Boyd in the next season.
But that's how you get him away from Acosta. Christy is the key for Boyd.
Yes, yes,
Boyd
yes.
can pull Christy, and then something happens to Marielle. All of a sudden, she could pull Kenny back.
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I absolutely think that with all of the stuff that Christy went through with Boyd and stuff, that she's going to be on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Marielle's a different story. I'm not sure where that's going to go, if she's going to stick by Christy, but
I can see Christy saying, I've not been happy in this relationship since you come back, and we need to maybe take some time away from each other. I can see that. And then Marielle goes with the one group, and then that separates them. But if Kenny sees her all alone, Christy could pull Kenny. Just saying.
100%. Not to mention, I think Randall may be the one that pushes Christy to go to the other side as well, right? So you're going to have the two on opposite sides, Christy on one side, Marielle on the other side, and then, of course, they're always going to be like trying to, this is what we should do. We should listen to Boyd, because Boyd has been there on point all the time. He may have made mistakes, but we've all made mistakes. You know what I mean? So it's going to be definitely interesting to see when we get to that next season, to find out exactly where it's going to go and to see if we were right about certain things. But the way things have been lining up, especially after what they did to, and I will say it was well deserved, but what they did to Elgin, you know, Acosta seen that. She didn't like that. She already had issues with Boyd. So it's going to be tension. So that's why I say I believe that that's where it's all leading to.
If Donna is on board Team Boyd, that's going to help him out a lot too. So he's going to have to convince a couple of people. If he convinces a couple of people to be on the Team Boyd, Acosta's going to be very alone.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think poor Elgin.
Poor Elgin.
No, not poor Elgin. I do think that Donna is going to be on Boyd's side, right? Because even when they decided to do what they were going to do to Elgin, she was there and she agreed with it. You know what I mean? She didn't back down. So it seems to me like she has a lot of faith in Boyd too. And I think that's what, not to mention, we forgot about Bata. She said she's going to follow Boyd as well. So.
But I think that's a very important to talk about, because of what we saw in this episode between Donna and Boyd. They like arguing with each other. They trust each other's, though they don't agree, they trust each other's managerial, like their leadership skills. They respect and they appreciate it. So I mean, I think that's what we're going to see going forward. They trust each other. It's going to be the old guard versus the new guard.
Yeah, makes sense. 100% makes sense that the old guard, Donna and Boyd, against the new guard, which will be Acosta and hopefully not, but Kenny's probably going to be on that side.
Right, will be the ones. Yeah. So he is.
Yeah, because Kenny's slapping them cheeks. You know what I mean? Like,
he deserves it, man. He deserves
it. He's the only one that found out her real name when she said it. You know what I mean? He said her real name.
But Danny,
so I'm like, yeah, that sounded like pillow talk to me. Hey, baby, what's your name? Exactly. So yeah. But going back to Boyd's wife, the name is slipping my mind right
Abby.
now. Abby, right? What do you think her role is?
I actually think that she's the executioner. I think we're going to find out. We're going to find out more about what happened the first time, and I think that she is that. She's the executioner. She's the badass, right? The one who no one questions. She's going to make it happen. She will kill and not even think about it. I think that's what her role is. Period. In from.
Interesting.
You don't mess with Abby, so that's what I think she is. I think that's who she's always been, and I think that's why she's reincarnated in that same type of role, no matter what. I think Abby was always meant to kill a lot of people.
So, do you think I
could see her being the one who was the person that kind of killed the kids.
Oh,
You know, so like the town does stuff that they sacrifice the kids, but one person has to actually kill them, right?
yeah.
I think it's Abby.
That would make sense. You know what I mean? That definitely would make sense. Because we know that Christopher, aka Jade, is probably gonna start it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, start the drama and everything that's gonna go on because we don't think he's gonna actually end up still being good. That might be a twist if he does, but at this point, from what we've seen with Christopher, it seems like seems like Jade is gonna go down the same path. Do y'all remember a movie called Strictly Business? Absolutely,
Yeah, that's
100%.
the one with Halle
Tom
Berry
Cruise.
and no, Strictly Business is the one with Halle Berry and that dude from Cosby Show.
Is
And
it?
Tommy Davidson is in it, and I think Sam Rockwell. I think Samuel L. Jackson too.
Strictly Business from 1991. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Samuel L. Jackson is in it. Absolutely. Tommy Davidson, Halle Berry, Samuel Jackson,
I
Joseph
had to
C.
pull.
Phillips. Yeah.
I had to pull that one. That's a long time ago.
I barely remember the movie, but I definitely know the movie you're talking about. Said, okay, well, I think Costa initiate would be like left, right, left,
Left, right.
right. Hey, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. My cat is.
Scared.
Come here, you. Get off
Yeah.
my.
The cat just said, Don't get us, MGM. It's not our fault.
You know, the cat did it, not me. I didn't mean to play that. Said it's a classic, like Boomerang. Yeah, it's a good movie.
It is.
I don't remember anything about it,
It's
which
definitely
makes
more of
me.
a comedy.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll go back and watch it definitely because I don't remember anything about it. Yeah. So I think you might be right with Abby though. I think she definitely may not be a reincarnation, but she is definitely one that was supposed to be there to mess ish up. You know what I mean? Now, do you think she was having visions?
I don't think she was having visions while she's there. I think that she remembers in the past life of being there.
Right.
You know, I think that that's what she said. I remember a dream of this, but it wasn't really a dream. It was where she was the last time when she was there, what she did.
Right. But so when I say visions, I mean like Father Kotri. Do you think someone might have come to her like that?
Mm.
The
I haven't
only
thought about
reason
that.
why the only reason why I would say not is because it didn't seem like she had a connection with anybody in the town. Like, you know, Boyd had the connection with Father Kotri, but then again, Jade doesn't really. Well, I guess the connection to Jade and Christopher would be that it's a reincarnation, so that could be why he's seeing Christopher. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always wondering. I'm like, maybe she was not just, you know, she wasn't just thinking about the town, she was actually seeing somebody, maybe telling her
Because she was
that it
looking
was
off
a dream.
into the sun, like she was looking out, and everyone was like, "What the hell's going on? Are these flashbacks?" It's almost like she had PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention the fact that, you know, someone could have told her that it was a dream. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like she could have been like, "Oh, you know, I remember this dream," and then someone showed to her and like, "Oh, yeah, you know, it is a dream, and you have to kill everybody." I doubt it would be the boy in white, but I
Mm.
definitely think it might be a voice, you know, like how Sarah was hearing voices. Because
That's a
Sarah
really good
started
point. Yeah.
right, because Sarah started killing people when she heard the voices, right? So maybe Abby was hearing voices, and I think we'll get a lot of answers to who those voices are or what those voices are in the next couple of seasons. Maybe not next season, but definitely in the final season. I think we'll find out a lot of the things that we still have questions for.
I wouldn't be surprised if the man in yellow is the overall arching person that decided who's going to come and play to places. And he knew he wanted to bring Abby back, but didn't see Boyd there. And then that's what we can even see a line next season saying, "When I brought Abby here, I didn't think you were going to be such a problem. I could see him say that to Boyd.
100%. Because I definitely believe Boyd and that man in yellow will have some kind of interaction. You know what I mean? It's just, how will they have an interaction? Because I don't know how anybody can have an interaction with him like and survive. So it would have to be behind a talisman, or maybe that spot where they found all the fruits and stuff, because that man in yellow looks like he's gonna be something fierce to, you know what I mean? Like, you can't mess with him. So
If he's in the forest and you can't go into the forest during the daytime, like we kind of saw today, we saw it say today. You know, he said, hey, we could go visit, we could go into the forest during the daytime. If he changes that, you no longer to search around there anymore. It kind of pigeonholes you even more. What's up, Fletcher?
What's up, Fletcher? What's the heel part for you? Are you playing the bad guy today? Is that what we doing? You playing the man in yellow? It's okay. You know, the man in yellow was kind of fire, so I can't wait to see like how. I really hope that they make him like a really menacing villain. You know what I mean? Like someone you like, because the creatures are menacing. I'll say that, but you know, you go episodes without seeing the creatures or anything like that. But the man in yellow has to have like a Darth Vader presence.
I got one question for you.
Go ahead.
Let's say, so Abby, died, right? So she is a reincarnated character, right? And she came back as Acosta.
Ooh.
And they find out that all these characters, Boyd finds out that they're all playing roles, and he realizes that this person that he's having all these problems with, Acosta, is really his wife reincarnated.
Ooh, that would be tight. Now the question is, would the age and the time limits add up though, right? They might.
No, I mean, because his wife is only 18 months, but maybe it wasn't like the time has to add up because she wasn't that character yet. But then soon as she died, they went looking for the next one. Just like it's funny how everyone in Colony House died, then the bus shows up.
Yeah.
There has to be a certain number of people that are there at one point in time. So like if they're trying to get it through, all these people died, the bus shows up. So Abby dies. Next, they find the next person to find a way to bring her in. And that's who she is. Acosta is that same type of thing.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense, Brian.
Like exactly, Fletcher, like a soul transfer.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like we got Smiley, right? We got Smiley. He came back. Why couldn't this happen the same way?
No, I can agree with you, because even though we talk about, Tabitha being a reincarnation, and I guess it's because she had dreams, but it could be a soul transfer too, right? It could definitely be that, where it's not really 100% a reincarnation, but it could be a soul transfer, and it was unlocked when they heard the song, and now she thinks that, because she said I was here before, right? So it doesn't necessarily, and I think another thing too was Jade's, energy doesn't just get destroyed; it reimburses, it goes somewhere else, right? So that could be what we're dealing with, other than the fact that it's a true reincarnation type of thing, right? So when Miranda died, her soul went straight into Tabitha.
So, and here's another thing. So what if Jade died in the car accident? Would they have to wait all that time for him to come back? No, I don't think so. I think another iteration of him would have been able to come up, and they would continue the story.
That kind of makes sense to me too, right? Especially when the first time it happened is probably because they all died, right? So of course we had to wait, you know what I mean, for more people to come in. But yeah, I could definitely see that.
But that would be really great for the story, right? So when we always have this pull from Abby or Costa now in Boyd. Well, now how does that change Boyd's feelings if he finds out you really are like the same soul of my wife? So souls don't really leave; they're going to new bodies, and he feels that way. Well, how does that change his review of Acosta? And now, what if Kenny goes through and has to have the same thing that Boyd had to go through with, Acosta going mad, and
Oh
she has a
yeah.
gun, and she's going to be
hmm
in the same place, and she could shoot people. Does Kenny have to deal with the same thing that Boyd had to do?
Ooh, that's interesting. Because I know we kind of put that on Ellis last season, right? We thought Ellis might have to, take out Fatima like Boyd
Mm-hmm.
did. But technically, Kenny's like an adopted son to Boyd. So it would make
Mm-hmm.
sense if Kenny would have to go through and
He's the
with
sheriff,
him
like all the things that Boyd does. That's what Kenny does.
and with him being on the same side as Acosta, if they do the breakup and he is on that side, maybe Costa loses her mind and has to start like she starts killing people, and Kenny has to be the one to stop her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can completely understand what Boyd had to go through. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I think that would be a really good way to do it. We're
That
talking about
is
seasons of stuff. We need multiple seasons of this stuff, and by the end, you need them all to be coming together and understand each other, and finally start to talk. That's the only way they're gonna get home, or not get home, but at least get to the next level.
facts, facts. And they definitely need to talk, and I think that's what's going to happen. And I don't know if there was a dissension, like where one group and there was another group in Christopher's timeline. But to be honest with you, Christopher went crazy and didn't follow the plan. So
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't need to have done that, right? And I believe after every incarnation, it goes further and further. They get a little bit further, they get a little bit further. And that's why we never seen the man in yellow before, right? Until this reincarnation, because Tabitha and Jade went a little further. Jade didn't die or help people die. So yeah, we still may get to that. We still may get to that point.
I still think the man in yellow is there because of Boyd still. Because the whole point of last season, the same thing that they always said was, we're here to break Boyd.
hmm
So if they didn't break Boyd, they knew the man in yellow was going to come.
And
So
they
yes,
still need to break Boyd.
and
Yes.
they have to break him, because if we don't break him, we're not going to be able to do what we need to do. He's going to hold the town together enough.
hmm
So we have to break him. So that's what the man in yellow might be coming to be the antithesis of Boyd.
Right, because you would have to ask yourself, right? Even though you'll say, oh, maybe they take it as a game, but they had many times where they could have killed Boyd and they didn't do it. Right? They didn't do him when they had him in the room with Ten Chen. They could have killed him,
Yep,
but they
but they don't
didn't.
need him to die. They need to break him.
They need to break him because maybe dying he'll be like a martyr, which will still make people stronger. You know what I mean? So it's better to break him than to kill him. Do
Exactly.
we do we know that Christopher went crazy for sure, or are we just taking Victor's word for it?
We don't know if Christopher is the one to set them up. We don't know that.
Right. But I think with the way the story was being played out, and it could be an okie doke, it could be, misdirection, but the way it seemed like it was playing out, it seemed like it was playing out to, maybe Christopher didn't go crazy, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what caused people to die, right? So, because I'm not 100% sure he actually went crazy. I just know in that when he was talking to the boy in white, he was like, oh, this all lies. And he didn't agree with it. So he didn't go to the tree when he was supposed to, right? And that's why the boy in white stopped interfering. But to me, the boy in white, I think he has something to do with bringing people there too as well.
He has a role. I mean, it could definitely, as we said, angel and demons, antichrist, or archangel angels, whatever. Any of that stuff could still be in play for any of that. But I do want to ask a question.
hmm
Whose dog was that?
Yeah, let's get to the dog. I don't know, but I think that dog was there just to help Boyd find the talisman,
Mm.
right? Because he started to follow the dog when he seen it, and then after he seen the dog, I think he fell through
He's
a hole.
immediately lost. No, he was
Yeah,
immediately lost.
he got lost. Yeah, exactly. And then next thing you know, it's nighttime, and here we go. And he's looking through, and boom, he finds the talisman. So
Because
I
he hears
believe
the
this.
monsters coming after him, and he falls into the hole. And then he's like, "Why aren't they coming after me?" Because he has the gun pulled and everything, and they just couldn't get in. And he finds the talisman then. But where did the dog go? Whose dog was it? And who sent the dog to him?
Facts.
What if I
Facts.
told you it's Julie?
Ooh. You know
What if I
what?
told you she threw him the rope? She threw him the talisman. What if she's the one who set the dog for him because she can't talk to him? What if it's Julie?
I think so. I can agree with that. I was first thinking maybe it was the boy in white, because the boy in white's usually the one that comes out there and makes people follow him. Maybe the boy in white didn't want to show himself as the little boy to boy, so it showed as a dog. That's way, because if
Mm-hmm.
it's a little boy, boy might not have followed. He might try to shoot it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what are you doing? Go back here and shoot it. So I was thinking that, but now that you mentioned it, with the story walking with Julie, things that happen we can say had to do with Julie. Like when it's like, hey, all of a sudden, dog comes out. Maybe the goats.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Julie had to do with him finding the goats,
I
right?
mean, Julie has something to do with him with the rope. She has been setting up things in the story. We just don't know about it yet. I
Yeah,
think so. The reason why he said this is the end of the beginning, and now you're gonna look back at the beginning to find out where you're gonna end up with the end, is because you're gonna start seeing the in between stuff. We're gonna start understanding what actually happened, who really put these things into order. It was
I like that.
all it's all Julie.
I like that. I really do like that. It makes sense because they already. Sorry about that.
Mm.
They they already foreshadowed that one, she story walks. Two, she was the one to put the rope there, right? Three, we probably assumed that it was her that helped Victor. So if
Yep,
she was the one that helped Victor, why wouldn't she be the
be the
one
one
to
to
help
help Boyd.
everybody else? Hmm.
All the good stuff that's happened in Fromville is because she now has control of stuff. We're gonna see her be the one who actually said it, put it all in motion.
You know what, Nikisha? To be honest with you, if that is the case, I think they will show it as a montage. I don't think they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna show it right. They'll show it as a montage where maybe she goes in and then she does something, then it flips to something else, and she does this, and we realize that she's been running around doing things, helping people, and she's
From
probably
the
been
get
stuck
go,
there for years. Yeah, she's probably been stuck there for years
it's
because,
possible that she's the only one who can't get out.
like Eloise.
Yep. So like, remember the movie Tenet? Like
Hmm.
everyone else is going backwards, but she's going forwards, or she's the only one who's experiencing that way. She
Hmm.
might be the reason why everyone got out, but she has to go through all this stuff to make sure they do get out
Makes sense.
by going backwards in time.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I like that. That makes a lot of sense too, as well. You know, said I also need a montage of Julie trying to save Jim, but he keeps dying over and over again. That would be interesting if they do that. I just don't think they will because when she gets there, she says, I think this is it. So
Yep.
that means she only reached that spot one time. You know what I mean? But we will definitely see a montage of her constantly trying to get to that spot. And with her trying to get to that spot, then she's going to go through certain spots and times and probably help people out. Right. you know she might be, we go back to a flashback where like we're seeing Boyd with the dog and she's behind a tree and she throws the
Mm-hmm.
dog out, right? Where did she get the dog? Maybe she found the dog um while she's doing her story walking.
Someone's going to teach her the rules. There's going to be rules. So like the man in yellow is one player, right?
Hmm.
What if Eloise is the other player?
Guaranteed.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Guaranteed.
and she is a chess piece, and she realizes that she's like a queen. A queen could move throughout the board, right, and do
Hmm.
special things. That's
Hmm.
who she is. She's the queen of the chess game.
And I think Eloise, if Eloise is stuck there, I think Eloise may teach Julie the ropes right
Hmm.
before she dies.
Before she dies. Exactly.
Right? She dies, and then Julie has to take over what she was doing because it could be a possibility where Eloise has helped somebody too. It may not have been Julie, right? But I'm more assuming that Eloise is lost in time, and Julie's gonna hit a spot to where she is at,
She's
and she's
going.
gonna explain everything.
What can happen is Eloise had to go back to help the kids, and then Julie
Right?
had to go back to help Victor.
Exactly.
And
And
then
I think
helping Victor, she helped Boyd. She helped Boyd multiple times, and that's how the story goes. And you always have these pieces because I think this is a giant chess game. This is what it has to be. Where pieces only could do certain things. People could only play certain roles. If you think about those roles as chess pieces, that's what has to happen. And that's why if you lose those cheap pieces, you have to get new pieces in because you have to play that same chess game.
agreed. And Akeisha said Julie must get stuck alone because Tabitha told her she'll never be alone. Exactly, which is definitely a foreshadowing that she's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to get stuck in time alone, right? And she's going to have to go through this stuff, and she's going to always remember what Tabitha told her, that I am not alone and I can do this, right? I mean, I think Ethan already done spilled the beans where it's like you're a story walker. You can't change things that happen, but you can affect them. You know what I mean? And that's
So
what she's
you
gonna
can't
do.
change things so well. She could do other things like send the dog,
With send the rope, help Boyd
send the
get down
rope.
with the rope, right?
Exactly. She didn't, directly change anything.
Hmm.
You know,
Still happen.
she could have maybe saved Jim. She like did like a howling of a wolf
Yeah, yeah,
or something to that effect. She can't do it herself, but she can use objects to change the way they do it.
absolutely. Because we don't know what would have happened to Boyd if Julie never came and gave him the rope at that point, right? So I do believe you're right. And that's why I don't think that they'll bring back Jim. Like I think Jim will come back in the show as like maybe a ghost or
A
something
ghost.
like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's gonna be able to actually save Jim. Because I always go back to the lost.
No, no,
What
no.
happened happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happened happened. So she's gonna keep going back to try and save him. But like Ethan said, you're not going to be able to change the stuff that happened.
But he also might be her conscience. Like Father Kotri was Boyd's conscience. I could
Yes,
see him coming back and being her conscience. Her father being her
yeah,
conscience.
me too, 100%. Either that or maybe Tabitha's conscience, one of the two. You know
One
what
of
I
them. Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Yeah, one
Exactly.
of the two. And I think it would probably hurt a lot more if it's Tabitha.
Ooh,
So I'm,
man.
yeah, yeah. So I think you might be right with the Julie part. I think it would be more interesting if it's Julie and not Tabitha.
But if it's Julie, then Julie really isn't ever alone because Jim
Yeah,
will never let her be alone.
exactly. And not to mention the fact that, she's doing it all to save him. You know what I
How
mean?
would you
That's
like?
the main.
How would you like that? How would you like that Jim is the one who taught her how to do all these things? And she doesn't listen. She keeps on trying to save him. He says, "You can't save me because this is a point that you have to go through to become who you are. So you
Hmm.
can't save me, but I'm here to teach you the way you can save everybody else.
Interesting.
And don't
And
use
I,
Eloise, just use Jim."
and I have a feeling that Julie is actually going to be the one that saves everybody,
Oh
or
yeah,
at least has a
except
big
herself.
hand into it. Yeah,
Except
yeah,
herself. Yeah.
yeah. She's gonna have a big hand in it, right? Because if you really think about it, the way she was as maybe not insignificant during the first couple of seasons, she really didn't do much. But now it seems like after we've seen the time travel that she's going to be a big part of it. Not to mention, she was supposed to be a dude when they first thought
Mm-hmm.
about doing the script. Supposed to be a dude, and they were like, "Ah, it doesn't really work out like that." But I also think that they were gonna take that one character that was supposed to be a dude. They said she was like a whatever insignificant character, but I think they were going to do something to make it significant. Like the least person you think that
You
would
could
be
push
the
the
one to save
storyline
everybody.
using this person that you don't see coming.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You know what I mean? Everybody's thinking that it's going to be Boyd. Boyd may,
He's
Boyd
gonna
may
pull
be.
them out. He's gonna
Yes,
lead them home.
yes,
But
but Julie's going to
all of
give them
Julie's
the
gonna be exactly.
Julie's going to give them the road. You know what I mean? He's gonna lead them home, but Julie's gonna give them the road to go and be like, "This is what you need to do," right? Do you think Julie's well? I, because of yeah, Julie's definitely gonna go into the future.
Hmm.
I believe she's gonna go into the future. I think Julie may see the end of the story. You know what I mean? I think she maybe get to a point where she sees the end or
She's gonna have to sacrifice herself to save everybody else. I think Julie sacrifices herself for everybody else. I also believe Sarah will sacrifice herself to save everybody else too.
oh, agreed.
From
Agreed.
monsters. Like they're going to grab Ethan, and she throws herself in front of him, and she pushes him out the way, and she's sacrifices herself to save Ethan.
Because even though we agree with what Sarah did, she has to die.
Yep. Oh, she has to die 100%.
You know what I mean? She has to die. She has to die. She's going to die in Fromville, 100%. You know what I mean? And I think it's gonna be a sad death, but she's gonna sacrifice herself to. I think after what Elgin went through,
Which Sarah will hurry up. Oh, girl.
You wish Sarah would hurry up and die then? Really? Nah. Sarah's gonna go out like a champion. Trust me. I'm telling you. She's gonna go out like a champion. And because of what they did to Elgin, I think he's gonna survive.
I think Elgin survived. I think Sarah is going to kill. She's going to die, but she's going to say something that Victor said. I'm the scariest thing here.
Yeah.
I'm the scariest. And not you. I'm the scariest. And she's going to sacrifice herself. And it's going to be awesome.
100%. Said not sad for me. Yeah, you just hating because what she did to the poor little black guy. You know what I mean? The one who kidnapped a woman and tried, and because of him, we got Smiley back. You know what I mean? Yeah, Elgin does live, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he's gonna make it. We already took his eye. He can't take his life.
Facts. I think Elgin is gonna make it, unless Elgin regrets what he did, and he pulls a sacrifice as well. You know what I mean?
Or he kills somebody. What if Elgin kills Smiley? Again, for the final time, since he's the reason Smiley's alive is Elgin. What if Elgin kills Smiley?
That could be a possibility. Now, do you think they're going to find...
Would you let him in the cookout if he kills Smiley?
Depends on how he does it. Right? If he just does it by accident, then maybe not. But if he actually saves somebody and kills Smiley, yeah, he'll get to the cookout.
I don't know if he's gonna let me in the cookout, but I'll give him a plate. You get some Tupperware. You can't be in the actual party part. You get some Tupperware, man.
But here's my question. Do you think they're going to find a weapon that's going to be able to kill the creatures for good?
Yes. And that's my point. I think they're going to find a weapon that kills the monsters.
Me too.
I think that the person that's going to find it is Christy. And that's why I think Christy and Kenny, that whole storyline is not done. I think Christy's going to find a way, some type of weapon that kills those monsters.
I think so too. I think they're definitely going to find some sort of weapon that's able to kill the monster, not just kill them, but where they don't get reincarnated, right? And I think that's what's going to happen in the last season. Because even if... because we always say you can't change the past, right? So it's obviously they can't save the Akui kids from getting killed. Mm-hmm. They can't do that, right? Because that'll change everything. So even though they can't change the past, I do think that when they do get out, they're gonna have to kill the creatures first.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
All of them have to die in order for them to get out.
I agree. Elgin don't need y'all invite. I will cook for him.
That's all right. Okay. It's a sympathy cook because you know what you're gonna want to be? You're gonna want to be in the cookout too. It's okay. You're invited. He just can't come. If he's your plus one, you gotta leave him outside.
You gotta stay outside. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, leave your plus one at the gate.
Well, he don't need our invite. He's gonna want our invite. Our shit is lit. You know what I mean? We got the music in the background and everything. Boom, food. You know what I mean? And he's gonna be sitting there with his patch over his eye in his one hand, begging to get some food. It's all right. It's all right.
He gets
You know,
Tupperware. Hey, you at the party with us, but you get Tupperware. That's all right.
I may give him a plate, but he'll have to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like he's one of them. Yeah, you gotta pay for that. $10 a plate, homie. You know what I mean? You set us back centuries. You gotta give us $10 a plate. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Actually, maybe 20 because I don't like what you did. You know what I mean? So if he redeems himself, I'll drop it down to 10. And if he redeems himself in a way to where I'm like, okay, you can get a free plate, then I'll give you that. But
He's going to have to save Fatima and save himself or save someone else too. He has to do 2 lives to get into my cookout. That's what I'm saying.
2 lives and
2
kill
lives.
Smiley.
Exactly. And kill Smiley.
I didn't even know y'all had cookouts in the cold ass Canada. It's not always cold up in here. It's cold
come
now.
on. Yeah, summertime in Canada is nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, you done know. You see, the thing is, we don't have to worry about having a cookout in the park and getting cops called on us because we're in the park having a cookout. You know what I mean?
But we can't do that in Chicago. Yeah, have them in my backyard. You have a gate between them. No, can't do that.
White folks out there don't let you do nothing. We get it. You know what I mean? At least here we can throw up a grill in the park and have a nice little barbecue out there. We don't have to worry about people. Hey, are you supposed to be here? Do you live here? we don't worry about that here.
Too real. Wasn't ready.
We don't worry about that stuff here in Canada. No, doesn't happen. Yeah, so he finds the talismans, and we already talked about Abby, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I noticed, so first off, I guess these people didn't hide very well because you see a lot of dead bodies on there, and that one right there, I guess it's because Abby shot him, but the ones that Abby didn't shoot, you can see that they've been eaten out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I still trying to figure out why when they did the Colony House massacre and they were cleaning up in the morning, nobody had their guts taken out. But then when we see this one, yeah, go ahead.
Donna says there are pieces of people all over the place.
True.
She does say that. There are pieces of people all over the place, like arms, limbs, all that they ripped them apart.
Very true. Very true. Which possibly means that they probably took some of their guts and stuff. So
exactly.
Curious to know if they eat them. I hope we really find out what they did with that, because that's another thing that they hide from us, you know? What else did we find in here? Because there wasn't really much in this episode. I think the next episode is what really,
blows it open. But
yeah.
I thought it was interesting that they did find a signal outside that kind of to help narrow where they are.
Okay, go ahead.
I like the Garden of Eden idea, but maybe it's only covered if you are within the confines of it. If you go outside of the confines of it, then you're somewhere real. That's why you could drive there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not in any direct place. But if you go outside of it, it's possible. I just wonder what would happen if they used the drone. I always thought about that. What if they use the drone to get a signal out?
Ooh, that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Said I'm not going to believe that they eat the organs until we see them doing it. So then what do you think they do with them? Right? What do you think they do with the organs?
Pain, possibly.
Souvenir, maybe? Oh.
What if it makes them younger?
Or what if it's like you take their organs, it's like taking their soul where they can't come back. You know what I mean? That could be an interesting thought about that one, But you are correct that every time someone dies, new people come in. Because the first season, right, the family died, and then Jade and Tabitha and all of them came in, right?
Yep.
Now, the second time,
because there's only 3 of them that died, right?
Yeah.
So is it only 3 of those people that came in necessary?
Yeah.
That's why Jay's driver friend had to die. Jim died. And what's going to happen is Julie's going to become a story walker.
And
so they
she's
only
gonna
really
become
needed 3. They needed Ethan. Yeah. They needed Jade. They needed Tabitha. That's what the 3 they'll be replacing.
I agree. Which would make sense because we have Boyd, we have Abby, and we had Ellis. So you had 3 when they first came in too, right? Ellis is still around, Abby is dead, and Boyd probably wasn't supposed to be there at all. You know what I mean? It's interesting the way a lot of these stories connect in a certain way, but to even just to piece it all together, it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's hard to do, but the pieces are there. Pieces are definitely there.
So we learned that 14 people died in the massacre.
Colony House, yeah.
How many people came on the bus? That's what I want to get to. When the bus comes in season 2, how many people are on the bus? Or the end of season 1, how many people are on the bus when they come in?
I think in season 2, hold on, let's go.
I think it's the end of season 1, isn't it?
I don't even understand.
I think it does come in at the end of season 1, but I think season 2 is where we get hold on, let me take this.
Because if it's that last episode of season 1 and we start counting and we realize there's only 14 people that came from the 14 people that died. Because the old couple was still on the bus.
Yeah.
So if say it was 16, you know, 14 people lived from the bus, got in the house. There might be a set number of people that need to be there.
I agree. Hold on, let's see what I could find here. I don't know. It's giving me that hold on. Because I think there's one part where they're all on the bus, right where he throws up. And I think at that point we could be able to count how many people came in. So season 2, episode 1, here we go. Hold on, let me get to okay.
Because that might be a really interesting idea that you only have a set number of people that can actually be in Frontville at the same time.
That would definitely be interesting. Okay. So these are all the people that were on the bus. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I believe there's someone else. So there might be 14 people that came in on that bus. You might absolutely be right.
They lost 14 and gained 14.
That's interesting. That is very interesting because I might have missed somebody, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Tilly here, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I don't believe Elgin is in this picture here. So if he's not there, that's 14. Because everybody had got off the bus when it started raining to go over there. So everybody's off the bus. Elgin is not in that picture, so he's 14. Yeah, 14 people. The way y'all talking, I may have to get back into From. You should get back into it, brother. It's really good, and it's one of those shows. Like to me, mystery box shows are the best shows ever right now. Right, where you can go there and you can theorize every single week. So Silo is one of them, and Severance is another one. Right. So they don't really give you any information, and you got to try and piece everything together. Thank you, Lost, for that because you got to.
It was definitely the start. It was definitely the start of all this stuff.
Yes, and I've never you know what I mean. Until these shows, we're going back to earlier episodes to try and figure out. We're doing a stream on something that came up 2 years ago or whenever this shit came out.
But the best part about this, and this is why I think you guys should check these episodes out and join us, because there's so much that you're missing. And when we talk through this stuff, we're gonna talk right up into season 4. We're gonna follow right up into season 4.
Facts, 100%. And Deuce Falco said, I'm on Severance and solo leveling
Silo
right
level.
now.
Yep.
Silo level, yeah. So check out us on the Spoiler Kings channel, man. Saturday night, 10:30
Definitely do.
EST.
Come on through. Yeah, we're gonna have
The
a
real
whole lot of fun.
the real time, 10:30 EST, where
Oh
we
my god.
do our Severance breakdowns. You know what I mean? So
9:30
definitely check
Central.
it out.
That's the real time. Central.
Well, you give a damn about no Central Time. I wait till freaking 3 o'clock in the
East
morning
Coast
for something to
bias.
come out
Yeah.
because it has to come out at 12 o'clock Central Time. Fuck out of here with that shit. God, I hate Central Time. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out, man. If you're definitely into Severance, you'll enjoy it because he's
Oh, that's gonna be so fire. I cannot wait. That's how I
absolutely
count my weeks. That's how I count my weeks. When the Severance come out.
facts. 100%, you know? And Severance is one of those shows like this one to where it's like, oh man, an episode drops and then you just can't wait until the next week, you know? So I love
It's
that.
actually the worst time of my time for me. Is at right when Severance drops. Because now I know I have 7 whole days to the next episode drops.
Facts. Facts, 100%. All right. So yeah, so we found out that's 14 people. Another thing we also figured out was that both children, not just Ethan, but Ethan and um, Julie were
Julie.
both born at night,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a
I
little
don't.
connection there too as well to why it there's something to the Akui kids. Same Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Night no, it's Saturday night,
So yeah, no,
nine
it's
o'clock.
9 o'clock on Thursdays when Severance comes out.
Oh, yeah.
It's
It
the
comes
worst
out at
time.
9 o'clock. I know. But we do the breakdown on a
On
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Severance is the reason I started my channel. It's so good, never a bad episode.
So
And
much to talk about. Always.
there is that channel, so make sure you guys subscribe to it and check out our Severance videos. You'll enjoy them. Trust me on that. Now, one thing we did notice, and Julie and Tabitha are having a conversation, and she's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell us about Thomas? We find out about
Mm-hmm.
Thomas." And you know, Tabitha does say she loves like Jim.
She
Jim
loves
was the
Jim.
love of her
Mm-hmm.
life,
Love her
right?
life. Exactly.
But she still couldn't tell Julie that they're not gonna get divorced. You know what I mean?
But she's admitting that it's her fault. And that's what I always felt. I felt like somehow it was Tabitha's fault because she couldn't let go. Because she said, every time I look at Jim, I see Thomas.
Yes, yes,
That's the problem.
100%. Don't worry about it. No problem. Anything. Absolutely. So I think again, Julie going through like, am I the problem? Why didn't you tell me? It makes it even more that she's going to be the story walker to try and fix everything, right? Because she
Exactly.
already felt that it was her fault that they were getting divorced. She's probably gonna feel like it's her fault why her father died,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to do everything she can to try and go back and save it. So I think this show has actually given us a lot of hints as to why she's going to be the savior.
And she's also Jim has become Uncle Ben. He's gonna be the
Yes,
reason why she becomes brave and she does
yes,
all these great things for all these people because because of his death.
absolutely. And I think that first episode is going to be so emotional, right? Because you're going to have to tell Julie that Jim is dead. They're going to have to
Mhm.
tell Ethan that Jim is dead. Tabitha is going to find out that Jim is dead. You know what I
She's not
mean?
gonna forgive her. I don't know if she's gonna be able to do anything. Someone's gonna have to watch after Ethan because Tabitha's gonna be a shell of herself. There's no way.
You know what's funny? Maybe we have it wrong, right? Maybe because of what happened to Jim, Tabitha is going to be the one that doesn't do what she's supposed to do. right? Because in the previous, it was Christopher, right? Christopher said, it's a lie. I'm not going to do it. But now with what happened to Jim,
The
maybe
grief makes her catatonic and she can't even
yes,
move.
yes. And she's the one that maybe goes crazy instead of Jade.
She could
That
though, because that if he really is the love of her life, she really didn't do anything without him.
exactly.
Ugh, man.
Exactly. I don't know any couple that
Lost a child.
lost a child and stayed together in real life. The grief is too much. Um, I can't say that I know anybody that had that experience, so I couldn't speak on that. But yeah, it is a lot. You know what I mean? It is a lot, especially because a lot of the kids look like the mother or the father, right? She
Mm-hmm.
said Thomas looked like Jim, so every time she looks at Jim, she sees
See
Thomas.
Thomas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely that could be it. But I do think that is gonna break her. Like even so, and that's why when I had this conversation, I was like, you know what? This is a very interesting conversation because now we're looking at all the things she says about Jim and going back knowing that he died, right? So it's now how does that death because that's what the next season is going to be about. It's going to be about how Jim's death affects everybody, right? And that's exactly how it's gonna what it's gonna be about. Go ahead.
I wonder if she hates Jade because of it. I hate you.
Ooh,
Stay away from me. I hate you.
so you think that Jim's death could cause an issue between Jade and Tabitha?
Yep, and she never wants to see him again. Don't say nothing to me because without him, I can't do anything. And you're the reason why he's gone. She doesn't blame herself because Tabitha's never taken all the stuff for herself. I did
Fact.
this or anything like that. She always blames someone else. And I
Hmm.
think Jade is probably the one who she's going to blame.
Would make sense, right? Because even though she was kind of like we should do it out in the forest, like it was her idea, but Jade was ready to play the music right then and there. You know what I mean? Like he was ready to go off and play it. So yeah, she definitely might blame him. Like I said, I do see a tension between her and Jade coming in next season because of
Yep.
what happened to Jim. You know, which plays right into the man in yellow's hands, right? Because if there, and I think that's one of the reasons why the previous reincarnation didn't work is because Jade didn't do what he's supposed to do. Now we're going to have either Tabitha or Jade not doing what they're supposed to do. And I honestly believe that I'm leaning more to Tabitha now than I am to Jade.
I wonder if Ethan brings her back. You don't have
Ooh,
to be for anything else. Just be here for me. Be here for him. And what if that's what Julie says? Don't worry about everyone else. Just be there for Ethan. I'm gonna go do something else. I want to be somewhere else. But be here for
ooh,
Ethan.
that's interesting. And I think because I think when Julie does what she does, it's either going to be one or two things. Because Tabitha doesn't want to do anything anymore, so Julie's going to take it on herself to say, "Okay, I'm going to go back now that I know that I can do this. I'm going to go back and try and change things, seeing as that you are not doing shit." Damn, we cooking. We
The
cooking.
grief is too much for her. I can see it. The grief is going to cause her too much pain, and she just cannot deal with it. If she couldn't deal with losing Thomas,
Yes.
how do you think she's going to deal with losing Jim?
Absolutely. And again, a lot of foreshadowing, right? Because a lot of this issue between her and Jim and the tension they had was because of what happened to Thomas, because she was guilty. She's seen Thomas and Jim. Now she's going to feel even more guilty that Jim
Mm-hmm.
is gone. Ethan is going to probably, you know, like go into his own little,
Yeah, a shell of
square.
himself. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. To where Julie's going to be the only one to say, no, I got to do something. Ethan's probably even going to tell her, like, listen, you can't change what happened. She's going to say, well, I'm still going to try. You know what I
Or
mean?
Ethan goes more Victor.
Yeah,
Victor
I
because
think
it's de
so.
facto father. Because now that Victor has Henry here, he can affect another person's life. He can be there for someone else's.
That could be a possibility too, 100%. Especially if you go with the fact that we think that, you know, Ethan is probably going to have to take the same role as Victor, right?
Mhm.
And with everything that Victor has seen, he's probably going to remember a little bit more about what happened between Charlie and what happened with all of that stuff, right? Because even though he gave us that information, we didn't
We don't know
still
if it's
get the whole
true.
story. Yeah, that too. We don't know if it's true, and we didn't get the full story, right? We still didn't get the full story because even though um, Christopher said he's not going to do it, it's a lie, blah blah blah, blah, we still don't know what happens after Christopher decides not to do it, right? It just skips to
100%.
us seeing Miranda die. So there's definitely something in between there that we're definitely going to find out about. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to find out where this stuff goes. Very interesting. Anything else?
The episode didn't have everything I wanted, but I think we're gonna look back and realize how important Abby was. So we talked about Abby, all the stuff that goes with Julie and Tabitha and Jim, and how much he really pushed everybody. And Kenny, he always gonna have that Ellis Kenny confrontation. That's going to happen too.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
hopefully what
agree.
happens is, Kenny needs Ellis. He needs um what's her name? Christy, and that pulls him back, and all of a sudden he's on the right side, and they can get rid of all the other stuff. And they can actually get home.
I think if anything, it's gonna be something tragic that's gonna push Kenny back to Boyd. Like where they're just gonna do what they want to do and they think they're doing the right thing, and something they're going to do is going to screw up. A lot of people are gonna die, maybe by the man in yellow, and Kenny's gonna realize, like, you know what? Maybe I should, maybe I should be there,
Yep.
I'm sorry,
100%.
completely random. But either you watching Paradise on Hulu, Sterling
Yeah.
K. Brown is carrying that show. No, I'm
Yes.
not watching it.
It's actually really good. But the
Is
first
it?
episode is gonna get you caught.
I seen it there. I just because I have it on Prime, not on Hulu, because we don't have Hulu in Canada. So
Yeah.
it's on Prime, and every time I click on Prime, I see it there, and I'm say, maybe one day.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Wait till the seventh is over. I think you really get into it then.
Did they drop the whole series, or is it weekly?
It's weekly.
It's weekly. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. I'll definitely check it out. I think I've watched everything that I need to watch so far. I just need to finish when the Spider-Mans drop,
Mhm.
and Invincibles. Those are the only things I'm going to watch.
What comes out Friday? Reacher comes out Friday or Thursday. Reacher comes out Thursday.
I never watched Reacher.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I never watched Reacher. I don't know if it's good or not, but I don't know. Just for me, seeing Tom Cruise in the role and someone else in that, it's like,
So Reacher is supposed to be 6'4", 260 pounds. So seeing Tom Cruise in it doesn't make any sense to me. So
I will check out Paradise. Yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out too. You know what I mean?
Sterling
Even that
K.
one,
Brown is awesome. He really is. Yeah.
even that one, Earth Abides. I tried to check that one out too, but there
I
are some
finished it.
things.
I finished
Oh,
it.
there are some things in that first episode that just pissed me off, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
no,
No, yeah.
no,
You're like
no,
him?
no,
No, you. What? Yeah.
bro.
I might drop a little small little trailer or talk on that. Some type of review over the whole season, all those episodes, the 6 episodes or something like that. I might do something like that. Yeah. And talk about the things I don't like, the things I did like. Ish is interesting. So yeah.
Is it good though?
If you get past your initial feelings in the first couple episodes, it becomes pretty good because you end up liking Ish a lot.
Bruh. Okay, so real quick, guys, just gonna talk about this real quick because he finds out that there's a fucking virus or a plague or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And it starts touching up the bodies. I was like, bro, you don't know what
Wait,
caused them to die.
yeah, but he was already he was immune. There's only
You
like
didn't know that.
1%, like 0.5% of the population was immune to it.
Yeah, but you didn't know that when he woke up.
Yeah, that's true. But he didn't know that the virus was there either, because he was.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because when he was driving, the fucking sign said there was a fucking emergency about a virus or some shit.
He knows that he
seen
was
the
alive.
sign.
Everyone else
Huh?
was already dead. Everyone else was
Yeah.
already dead. He just knew he was alive.
Right. So we don't know what caused these bodies or what the virus was. So you don't know if you can get it by touching them. He didn't know that. He just woke up from the fucking snake bite.
But I don't blame him. He's not. It's just not
Nah,
invited to the cookout. I don't need
nah,
Ish to
bro.
be figuring out like me. He ain't going to be
Nah,
like me.
nah,
It's
bro.
just that type
Nah,
of person.
bro.
Like if everyone's running, he ain't going to run. He gonna go find out what's going on. So like that's not
Yeah.
me. That's okay.
I would have seen that sign and I would have instantly been driving around like this. You know what I mean? I'd have been driving around like this. I would have seen dead bodies. He went to his mom's house. He picked the bodies up, buried them. Yeah, I'd be like, no, I'm not touching you. I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
but all that started to really get him into a good place. The snake bite saved him. Yes, 100%.
Yes, the snake bite did save him. I agree with that 100%. But he started touching up the bodies and shit. I was like, bro, are you serious? I
He
don't
didn't
think
care.
Ish didn't care if he caught it from his parents. He was ready to die anyways. Yeah,
Yep.
well, I don't give a shit.
Dude, the first was that first or second episode where he's in in Las Vegas and the woman's trying to have sex with him. It's crazy.
Yeah, you see, I didn't
And
even get to that part.
it's
I
a
watched the first
crazy episode. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna watch it, you be like, wow. And then you see what happens afterwards, you're gonna be like, it's crazy.
For me, the minute I seen that, I'm like, there's probably gonna be too much stuff in here that's gonna bother me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I'll probably pass. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to be cursing.
You'll be angry with
That's
some
why.
stuff. You'll be angry with some
But,
stuff. His wife is what you get angry with her too. Trust
right.
me.
You see, and that's why I like Silo and I like Severance and I like From because they don't do that stupid ish. You know what I mean? To where it's like, yeah, why would you even do that? So yeah, I'm just
No,
saying.
you ask that a lot. You'll ask that a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will. I'm pretty sure I will. But I mean, if you decide to do, how many episodes is it? 8 episodes? 10?
From?
No.
Oh, I mean, Earth
Earth
Abides.
Abides.
It's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 episodes. It's not much. It's like an hour
Mhm.
long episodes, and they're good. They're good. I mean, I got to the end and I was like, oh, okay. I appreciate it. A lot of death. A lot of death.
If you decide to review it, maybe I'll watch it. But at this point, I'm just like, I'll see. Earth Abides is a good story as a whole, limited series. I've yet to see a dystopia story told this way. It's a live story, romantic and shit. 6 episodes.
6 episodes, yeah.
Oh,
So it's like, and
well,
it goes quickly. But as romantic as it is, it's very sad. Very, very sad.
I got you. Maybe I'll check it out. We'll see. I mean, if you guys think, that people want to see a review about it or whatever, could probably do it. Other than that, like I said, I don't know. Do you have anything else about this episode?
Not really, but you just starting to understand Donna, starting to understand Julie, understanding Boyd a little bit more. Ellis getting out of his feelings. I thought that was important. The point where Ellis followed him and he told his dad, it's not your fault. What happened to mom? That's not your fault. And kind of fell into Boyd's arms and they hugged it out. I felt that. I felt that in my soul, and it's just getting over that. And it was like Ellis finally grew up a little bit, and not realizing that your father did it to save you.
Yeah.
That's what he was fine. He put the gun down, the gun was towards him, he was fine. Until she pointed the gun at Ellis, that's when he had to kill her.
Absolutely. So I'm glad you brought that up because I did have a question. Do you blame Boyd for what happened to his wife? Because if he had maybe stayed around and did what Ellis had asked, maybe she wouldn't have done the things that she did.
Yeah, maybe, but they also would have been in a pretty shitty living space too.
Facts. Yeah.
And but he continues to sacrifice his family for the good of everybody else, and he knows that now too. And that's why when you see what's going on with Fatima and Ellis before, that's why he made a different choice.
Facts. I was just about to say that. And that's something else I love about the show, right? Because you see at the beginning, he is all about, saving the town, and he pretty much neglected his wife, even though his son came and told him that he had concerns.
You
Now,
need to
when
come
his
home
son,
now.
yes, and
Mhm.
now when his son had issues with Fatima, and I'll never forget that scene where he finds out, and when he's in the room and he comes outside, and they just show one scene where he just like puts his head on the door, he holds it down like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, because he knew something was really wrong.
Mhm.
What he did, instead of making the choice for the town, he made the choice for his family. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
So, and I think that's gonna be another theme going through, to where you're gonna see people who made certain choices are gonna make different ones this time around,
Learn
because
from
it's like,
them.
yes,
Exactly.
100%. And then Kenny, and where his, like we said, if we think what's going to happen to him going with Acosta, he's going to end up learning something from that situation, to where it's going to turn around and be like, you know what, I was wrong. And it's not just going to make him want to be the sheriff, but it's going to make him trust Boyd even more, because I know right now his trust for Boyd is is low.
Well, once he's in that situation, it's going to be, oh, I get it now.
Absolutely. Is anyone watching Yellow Jacket? So here's the thing. Any show you guys can think of, Brian is probably watching it.
I was like,
I'm
Showtime.
just saying.
The season just dropped. Yeah, the new season just dropped. I was finishing the old season so I could watch the new season. Yeah, I pretty much was watching everything. Yeah.
There you
Yellow
go.
Jackets.
You see?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I haven't watched it yet, but if it's good, I'll check it out. Pete Peppers is doing a Severance live right now. I was excited until I saw Tony Teflon is there. I'll pass. Carla, I watched Yellow Jacket, but I haven't started season 3 yet.
Yeah,
Damn, you guys watch everything.
I mean, it's time. Yellow Jackets is very similar to From to Silo. Is very similar to it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it a Western?
Not really. Yeah.
Okay, because I know I seen a preview for a show which kind of was a Western. I mean, I like Westerns, but I just never really. But if you guys say it's good, I'll check it out.
It's really good, and you're gonna see it. It's I don't know how to explain it. So like there's a sports team that was traveling, and then it was a plane crash right in the wilderness, and then they had like like survivors like resort to like cannibalism and all this other stuff. There's a lot of parallels there. It's crazy. It's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah,
Did you
you'll like it.
did you say plane crash?
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly. This is why you don't get on planes.
Yes, exactly. People, this is why you don't fly. Yes, yes. We had a plane crash the other day in Toronto. The- And I seen the clip for it, and I was like, oh, that's not real. Then I seen on the news, I was like, oh, that was real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, some shocking stuff. It's kind of a mystery. So
Mhm.
I definitely love mystery shows. So if it's done well, I'll definitely check it out. You know what I
It's
mean?
in Ontario.
100%.
It's in the Ontario wilderness.
Oh, yeah? Is
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
Even worse, maybe I'll skip it. It's a Canadian Canadian TV and movies suck, to be honest with you. I'm sure it's not a Canadian show, but I'm just saying.
Oh,
First
I would say
episode.
Christina Ricci's in it.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Didn't someone say that last night? Oh, Brandman. He said he only watching it because of Christina Ricci.
Yep.
Hey, he said that last night. The first episode opens with teen girls having a cannibal hunt in the woods.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
And then you look at their life 25 years later, and that's kind of what's going back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. There's so much stuff to check out. I want to finish what I'm watching first, and then I'll go. It's been plane crashes ever since those drones was out. I think T or whatever that is. Sorry, TPTB. uh, autocorrect messing up again. Are building a
Thanks.
drone, and the planes are hitting it and crashing. That's possible. It's possible. I don't know what's going on, but there's been a lot of plane crashes
Powers that
recently.
be are building a dome around
Ah,
people.
the powers that be. I
Mhm.
got you. No, watch it. It is different. All right,
It is
Carl, I'll check
different.
it out.
It
I'll
is.
check it out. I'll check it out for sure. You know, like I said, I mean, I always take recommendations, and sometimes I miss shows, right? Like if Perp didn't tell me about From, I would have never watched From. Like I'd have been like, whatever. And then I watched it. When Lost came out, I was like, who wants to watch a Gilligan's Island remake? I'm not watching this crap. And then I watched an episode in season 2, and I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing, right? So yeah,
I'll never miss this again. He never
facts,
did.
facts, 100%. The powers that be. Yeah, my bad, my bad. I didn't actually know what that was, but now I do. Thank you. So I know that. Yellow Jacket is definitely different. If you know, you
You
know.
know.
I got you. I'll check it out. And she said ear. Yeah,
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, I think this episode, and this is that first episode where Ellis and Boyd start to connect again. You
Yep.
know what I mean? He's worried about his father leaving. And this is the start to where Boyd kind of, it doesn't really happen right away, but this is the start of where he starts to trust Sarah. You know what I mean?
It's also the start when you can see him no longer caring about everybody else. I'm not going to sacrifice my entire family for you
Hmm.
guys.
Absolutely. And it
Into an ear.
shows said, can I lend you an ear?
I can lend you an ear. Ew.
And I think it also goes back to, you know, the relationships between the two people. Like I said, how it starts off where it's kind of rocky, and then they get together, and relationships that started off good, like Kenny and Boy, are getting rocky. So it's going to get to a point where all these relationships are going to get to a good point. You know what I mean? So said thank you for the stream, guys. I appreciate you still talking about From to occupy us during this long wait.
Of
No
course.
problem. No, no, thank you, Carla. Okay, so what am I missing with this? Can I lend you an ear?
You have to watch it. We talk about cannibalism, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, so something happens with the ear and
You see.
cannibalism.
Yeah.
I got you. Yellow Jacket was giving me nightmares. Is it kind of like horror stuff? Because if that's the case, then yeah, I'll definitely get into it.
I mean, we talk about cannibalism, right? And they're hunting each other.
Yeah, but cannibalism, that could be more gruesome than horror stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could be, if you're in that situation, it's horrific for you, right?
Yeah, I got you. Because to me, From is like drama type of horror thing. You know what I mean? Right. So drama From is more horror, but even if it's gruesome, I like gruesome stuff. I like a lot of blood and guts. So yeah, I'm definitely down for that. There's definitely horror aspects in it, and it's gruesome. Okay, I could deal with that. So I'll check it out. Sounds something like that's down my alley. For me, I guess it's just sometimes the name of these shows, because From, like what the hell is From? Like I don't care what this show. What is it? Perk can say you should watch From. I should watch From. I know you like it. I'm like, what do you mean? All right, man, I'll watch From. I was like, oh,
And
yeah, you're
you've never put it down after that.
right. I won't let my 17-year-old daughter watch Yellow Jacket. Really?
Mm-hmm.
And he
I
said
wouldn't
it's
let any of my
absolutely
kids. I better let my wife watch that.
all right, so now you guys got me intrigued. You definitely got me intrigued. I will definitely check it out. Definitely. Are you doing any reviews on it, or?
I haven't just been watching and enjoying it, but you know what? We could probably do it. If you get into Yellow Jackets, we could talk about it.
All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Definitely. I mean, it's not like we don't do a lot of stuff on this platform anyway, so one more thing's not gonna hurt, I guess.
I know exactly. It'll just be another day.
You know what I mean? Said I started Yellow Jacket because Showtime showed the first episode free, and I was hooked like From. Okay.
You gotta be careful. I'm just telling you, Anzo, if you watch it, you're going to enjoy it.
But you see, that's the thing for me. Like the shows I gotta get a hook. You know what I mean? If the show hooks me in the first episode, then yeah, I'll continue to watch it. That's why I can stand Game of Thrones, because that first episode did not hook me, and then I watched episode 2 and 3, didn't get hooked. Then someone said, watch this episode of season whatever, and I watched that episode, and it didn't hook me again. And I was
Then
just
you're
like,
done.
I was like, F this show. I'm good. The show has a big audience, like from. Oh,
It
that's
does.
interesting. And there's a lot to talk about. All right. So did the first episode drop already?
The first 3 of season 3 is already out.
Oh, they dropped the first 3. Damn. So I got a lot of binge watching to do. So I'll definitely watch it. And then it's one episode a week, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll definitely try and binge watch it over the weekend. That shouldn't be a problem. That shouldn't be a problem. If I like it, I have no problems binge watching it, man. I watched Cobra Kai all 5 episodes one night.
Oh man, because it went that fast.
You
All
know
the
what I
emotions
mean?
under the sun, crying.
Yeah. So it's no problem. If the show is good, I can watch like 4 or 5 episodes in one night. So, but yeah. Other than that, anything else on this one, Brian?
Nope. I'm glad that we're getting to episode 9 because episode 9 is up. It was so fire. And I couldn't help because I was watching 8 and I just went right into 9. And I was like, shit, I can't wait to talk about this shit.
Absolutely. And we're definitely going to have some notes for episode 9. So that's great. He says season 3 has 2 episodes so far. Well, if you guys are interested in uh,
Oh, yeah,
watching,
this
like
location just came out. So yeah, episode 3 it comes out the 21st.
21st. All right. So I'll check it out. What streaming service is it on?
Showtime.
It's on Showtime. I don't have Showtime, but I'm sure I have it on one of my things. If not, I can definitely find it. So yeah, like I said, we're definitely going to get into a lot of the season, season 9 episode. I think like we're gonna have a lot of notes for that one because I think there's a lot in those 2 last episodes that are definitely going to be there to talk about. I appreciate everybody that came in here, and yes, if you guys are interested in some Yellow Jacket talk, then I'll definitely try and catch up on that show so we can do that as well. So
sounds like fun to me.
If the audience is big for it and down for it, then well, I know the people in the chat are down for it, and that's all that really matters to me right now. But you know what I mean. So as long as you guys are interested in it, we'll definitely do something. Right. Tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. We go live Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays. We can't wait to talk about Severance. Let's go all the way.
Absolutely. I am Bigger Ford Entertainment. Tomorrow night will be the OOC. Have no idea what the topic is going to be tomorrow, but definitely going to be something fire. Friday, we'll probably do a tournament because I didn't do it last Friday. So we'll do one on Friday. And then we will be back here next week with another episode of From episode 8. Thank you, everybody that came into the chat. Nikisha, Carla was up in here. And yeah, Fletcher was up in here as well. 100%. And Deuce was up in here as well. So thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated. I know we had a few people also watching that really didn't comment, but you're still watching, and I appreciate it. So just make sure to check out us, check out Spoiler Kings, check out Nikisha's channel, and check out everybody that I think is doing good content over there and definitely deserves a lot more views and watch than we get, 100%. Because there's some trashy channels out there that get way more that ain't doing crap all. And I think I'm gonna have to put one of them on blast because he was doing his fucking, Captain America stuff. So I'm gonna have to make another video on this clown again. And that would be Ryan Kennel. So yeah, definitely gonna have to get at him again because I can't do this. But anyways, with that being said, guys, I appreciate everyone that came in here and had some fun with us. Make sure to mark it down next week, same time, same station. We will be back with another episode of From. Peace, love, and hair grease, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace. Thanks, guys.
Everyone in this town has been exactly where you are right now. There are things you need to know about where you are. This is gonna be the worst night of your life. Do you believe in monsters?